Test 1 2 1 2. We are live. Let me make sure that everything's going through. Test 1 2. Test 1 2. Test 1 2. Test 1 2. Okay, it's working. Good evening, my outdoor crew. How are y'all doing? Hope everybody's doing great. What's up, Bill? Checking a couple last minute emails here that just came in. A couple things I got working. Got some things happening, guys. Be a big weekend around the house this weekend. My little boy turns 22 tomorrow. I didn't think he'd make it past 15. Yeah, the paint's not dry on the wood, or the stain's not dry on the wood yet. Thanks, Bill. Chase turns 22 tomorrow. I can't believe that. His sister will be 24 this year. Next year, Chloe will be 15. Holy crap. Time flying. Old Bill's a grandpa. Hope I got a few more years. Please. Got a bunch to go over tonight. I got some outdoor news. One of them coming from a local news source in the town. The other one's coming from the AP, so we'll see how trustworthy it is. Yep. Get to see the little ones. I hope it's a few more years. Anyway, special YouTube news out there today. Didn't see anything major on any of the channels. We'll get into news. AP. Yep, it's that news reporting source. But this one's pretty legit because I checked on it. Kentucky state parks are to open back up this month. Folks, I don't understand it. Why close down the state parks when you can social distance there? But starting March, when did it say March? March 12th. So it's already happened. I don't know how long they were closed down. I mean, they closed ours down for maybe 4 weeks, I think it was. That was it. So good news. If you live in Kentucky, you get to go camping in your campgrounds that you paid for a long time ago that you'll have to pay for to camp in. So there's that. And here's something that's pretty interesting that starting this year. You know, I didn't realize that this had happened in the national parks out west. Yellowstone is fixing to take away some of its free campgrounds to make them pay sites or reserve-only sites. I think it's a total of 30, which is following what Grand Teton did earlier this year and took away all of their free sites and made them nothing but pay sites. So at least it's still at Yellowstone. You'll have some free places to stay. But Grand Teton, nope. You're going to have to pay to stay. So anyways, Got that out of the way. Got some outdoor news done. But it's getting to the point where I can understand, I'm sure they're going to take money away from the national parks as fast as they can to devote it to something that's not worthwhile. I'm sure they'll be studying stuff that really nobody cares about. And Lord knows they'll probably do all kinds of fun things with that. But that's how we go. If you hadn't paid much attention to the news and that kind of stuff this week, we had some wild weather yesterday here in Tennessee and Alabama and Georgia and North Carolina, South Carolina. So say a little something for those people. Supposed to get more tomorrow. Have stuff coming in tonight or early morning and then into late afternoon. And well, Chase is supposed to have a bunch of people over for his 22nd birthday and a bunch of food and stuff. And it may be kind of stormy, but that's the way it goes. Instagram, there's nothing really big going on Instagram to speak of outdoors wise. Everybody's doing their normal postings. I got a new one I'm going to put up in the morning. Got the drone out and played with it this week. Getting more practice in. You'll see that next weekend. Getting out Sunday myself for a little while. Going to do some practicing taking pictures. I'll take the vlog camera with me and we'll vlog about it. But I got a couple things I want to try with some new filters and that kind of stuff on the DSLR. But I actually got my pack out. Went through it earlier tonight. Got some stuff together. I've got my new blade I'm going to play with a little bit when I go out. But I've got it loaded and ready to go. Took a few things out because I'm going to put some things in that kind of changing up some things. And at some point I'll go over what I did and why I did it. Number one is cut back on weight. Although I want the weight because I want something to challenge me when I'm walking. But for the most part, I'm going to be hanging around Lakeshore and that kind of stuff. So probably not going to be doing a whole lot of walking or hiking yet. Working up that. Got several videos coming out over the next couple of weeks. Got several still editing. Got all kinds of cool things going on. Talked to Max with Hike Camp earlier. He said he was going to try to make it in, but he was having some stomach issues. If you follow him, you know his issues with his stomach. As me and Bill said last weekend, it's hell getting old. It is hell getting old. But we deal the cards we're dealt and keep going. Remember, if you have any questions, throw them in the comments. I will see them. This will go back live or go back as a video. So it'll always be up there for you to watch. I was looking at my news feed. I have got a couple of stickers coming from a special channel kind of north from here. Way north from here, actually. I think that light bothers the camera a little bit. But anyway, I got a couple of special stickers coming in from way north. Be seeing those here pretty soon. Bring those to the channel. I've got a bunch of stuff coming in. A couple different things that I've ordered. I'm looking at a couple of things too. Trying to do two things at once, and I think I got the other one done. Anyways, hope everybody liked the video that came out this week about first-time campers. If I've got first-time campers joining tonight, if you have any questions, please ask. One of the things I want to throw out there tonight is talking about first-time camping, especially if you go out and buy new tents. We're talking about setting them up. One of the other things I highly recommend is set it up, check it for leaks. As me and Bill found out a couple of years ago, one I've got was new. I thought everything was good to go with it. It leaked, and it won't leak no more, but it did leak. There's several different ways of going about seam sealing them. And I understand if you go out and buy a Coleman, if you go out and buy some other brand that's a cheaper brand that may have that problem, I understand, having to save some money, spend a little bit of money and get you some waterproof seam sealer and waterproof the seams. Anywhere it's stitched on the outside of that tent, spray them or seam seal them on the inside so that water doesn't leak in. But most of your tents, even the Colemans and stuff, are not going to leak. It's really rare for them to leak. Not everybody can afford a $500 tent their first go out, and I understand that. Yeah, it rained pretty good for several hours that night. I mean, it started raining about 11 o'clock, and it didn't stop till almost 6 o'clock in the morning, and it was pretty constant. So, the fact that it may have even blown in a little bit could be a possibility, because it rained pretty hard that night. That's probably one of the harder rains I've been in a long time. And this boy's camped through some storms. Let me tell you, I've camped through tropical storms. Actually, they were tropical depression by the time it got to us, but I've camped through one in the Scouts. An old canvas tent at that. But yeah, you try to plan for that stuff, and you can't dictate what Mother Nature's going to do. You plan a trip and you go, and sometimes you're dealt with the cards you're dealt with, and you have to deal with it. I have postponed some trips because, like this weekend, they're calling for rain all day tomorrow for the most part, a little break in the evening time, and then right back at it, storms and all that good stuff. So, if I saw a forecast like what we're going to have tomorrow, I'd probably cancel a trip too. I probably wouldn't try to venture out. I know Bill went down that charity ride. What was that, a couple of weeks ago now? And it's rained pretty much most of the time you were there. If I'm not mistaken, it rained pretty good here. 99% chance tomorrow it's going to rain at some point. Then 56% Sunday. But then next week's looking really good. Lower temperatures than what we've been having, but it looks pretty good. Mainly 60s and mid 30s. Wow, crap. But they can only predict it so far out, and I don't always trust towards the end of next week as far as weather forecasting goes. This time of year, they can't predict it that far out. They really can't. They can go off of guesstimations from last year, but they can't ever get it from last year to this year. It's all guessing and what weather patterns are doing all over. I will say, if you want to spend a little money on something, I've got an app on my phone. It's called Radar Scope. It came in real handy yesterday. As I was driving home, I was watching the weather when all the storms were coming up from the south. That's what the app looks like. It's real time weather right now in Nebraska. Actually, there's thunderstorm warning, and there it is. Now I can even go all the way down, and we can track that storm as it's rolling through. And let's see, let me go back to it. But I was watching that storm as it rolled in last night towards us. And the more I watched it, the more I realized I'm not really going to hit Mount Juliet where I live as much as it is further north or further west of us. But that's how it looks when it tracks a storm. You get real-time tracking and everything. It's a pretty cool app. It's, like I said, it's about $29, but I've used the heck out of it. Let me lock it back on. But anyway, so that's what we look like, a bunch of ground clutter right now. But as far as real-time weather, that's what I use is radar scope. Get on, I know they have it on iStore or, well, iTunes, not iTunes, but the App Store. And of course, you can get it on Google Play. I had on my Droid a long time ago. Then when I moved back to iPhone, I had to buy it again because it didn't carry over. But yeah, it got pretty wild around here. We got chasing him. We're chased off into the bathroom at work. My oldest was stuck at my parents' old house till it passed, and it got pretty gnarly over there that way. I think it's where they started the tornado warning was over basically between the two on the map. And it did some damage in Smyrna. They're saying an EF2, so it was a pretty decent tornado. But anyways, got more of it coming tomorrow. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how bad she gets. But Sunday afternoon, I'm getting the camera out. Like I said, I'm going to do a bunch of practicing with it. May make some coffee. I've got everything loaded back in my pack from where I took it all out and took it apart and did a bunch of stuff. So we got that going down. Looking at doing a couple camping trips here pretty soon. Me and Chase, we got to look at his schedule. Then me and Chloe. Chloe's out of school. I don't know if we're out of work Good Friday. We normally are not because we've got a lot of deadlines to meet with construction and stuff. And this year is no different. We didn't really slow down any during this pandemic. We haven't slowed down at all, hardly. I can say that construction has slowed as far as new construction has kind of slowed. Stuff that was started last year is steadily going. New stuff is kind of picking up. We had a job we put on the books last year that they held off on until this year. They started back up. We put the job on the books January, and this month they told us that they were going to go ahead with it, to go ahead and get stuff started, and here we go. That's how it works. Kind of predicted it though, because we kind of saw this coming, talking to some of our big contractors out there and general contractors. They said that, they could see it slowing down. There's a lot less permits issued, a lot less things issued, as far as new construction. So even though Nashville's growing and Nashville has got a bunch of stuff going on, it's kind of slowed down a little bit over the last few months. So I think it'll pick back up. I think once everything gets to a newer normal or better, back to old normal, the better off we'll be. Heather got the first shot of the vaccine. I still have not. I want the one and done if I'm going to do it. I'm still waiting for the nanonites that they injected in her to take over. I told her she started growing a third arm or a third eye or something like that, you know, I would take care of things and it'd be in a peaceful, calming manner. But no, seriously, as far as the vaccine goes, mom got hers. She's 4 weeks into it, 5 weeks into the last dose. So we're going to go see, I'm going to go see her this next week. You still have to schedule appointments, but they're at least letting them move around a lot more freely and that kind of thing. So, you know, I'm at that point of do whatever we got to do to get this place open back up. This is just ridiculous. Anyway, I don't want to get into politics because I don't do that on this channel. One day I may start a second channel and really get into the politics, but I'm not here. I think if you follow me on Instagram and some other places, you'll know my stance on things. I think it's craziness, guys. We got to get our country back in line. And I don't know, all this stuff here recent, just I didn't know it was a thing. So some of the things that's going on, I didn't know it was a problem. Sorry, naive, I guess. Thank God I got the news to tell me how naive I am. But anyway, that's either here or there or yonder. Went and looked at a Jeep. Still undecided. I'll show everybody pictures of it. It's not going to win any car shows, but the way I look at it, why go buy a brand new stinking Jeep to go thrash through woods and mud puddles and, you know, slamming into rocks and that kind of stuff. But that's the Jeep I looked at. It's actually next door to the office. It is a Wrangler Unlimited X. Bill, if you're still on here, what does the X mean? Outside of X-rated, I mean, what does it mean? It's got some decent wheels and tires. I'd rather have steel wheels than I had aluminum. Steel, you could at least beat it back out if you bend it in a little bit with a hammer. Aluminum, it's probably going to break. And then you'd be SOL. It does already have a bumper on it for a winch on the front. Got a pretty decent bumper. It needs to be, I'd probably jerk it off and have it powder coated. Back bumper, pretty good too. What I would change on this Jeep if I was to get this thing, and like I said, I'm not making any guarantees, but the red accents are just not me. Even the door handles got red accents. I would change that. Might just go all black. Bill said he would change the grill. No, okay. Bill said he'd change the grill. I don't know. I might keep that grill because I kind of like custom grills from back in the custom days. I'd probably keep the wheels and tires for now, and maybe when it's time to buy new tires, I'd find me some Steelies and get some better tires. But these are, I don't know, they're some kind of all-terrain tire that's on it, but it's got 108,000 miles. I don't know if I want one with that many miles. I don't know. It matters. But I did look at it kind of close the other day. Okay. Bill just sent me a picture. I'll show you guys. Oh. The AOP was real rocky, wasn't it, Bill? Let me show you this. This is a steel wheel. I'm taking it. I didn't read much on it, but that's what happens when you hit a rock in just the right spot. You bend that rim. But that, if that steel rim on a Jeep, you could bend that back out and it would probably be decent. Not much. No angry eyes. Oh, come on. I can't have angry eyes on the Jeep. Come on. Where's the fun in that? Make it look like a demon. We changed that on the trail. It weighed about 40 pounds of mud. Oh man, I bet. Yeah, I'm looking at that. Did he hit a big old rock? Is that what he hit? Bill saying, no, heck no. He don't want me to have demon eyes on my Jeep. Now, I can't go green because that's Tim's Jeep. So he hit a big rock. Man. But more likely, I mean, looking at that, that can probably be straightened and kept as a spare at least if you don't use it for a primary wheel. Because that's, that's the good thing about the Steelies. Like I said, if it had been aluminum, it would have broke. It would completely broke. Oh, shit. So he was definitely dumping air. Bill said every time it rolled around, it sounded like a blow-off valve. So anyway, that's my Jeep update from Patrick right now. Still driving the Titan. Okay. Bill's saying the aluminum isn't as bad as you think. I've been a steel rim on my old Impala one time. Cool Springs. I was going to somebody's house at the time, and somebody in a BMW come pulling out in front of me, and I swerved to miss them. When I did, I curbed on a concrete curb, bent one of my baby moons, and had to get a replacement because they tried to fix it and it didn't work. Didn't work. Bent it too bad. It actually had a crease in it. That's how hard I hit the curb. But I didn't hit the BMW and make my insurance go up, even though it's been his fault anyway. So talking about camping and getting back out, I'm getting it back out, gonna start putting some outdoor YouTube videos up. Obviously, starting probably about mid-April or so is when they ought to be ready to go. Not going to do anything too serious. I'm going to do some, like I said, we're going to do some camping. Probably next weekend, I'm going to get Chase and Chloe. We're going to get tents out and go over everything. And that's one of the things I'll do. Now, I may not go camping until mid-April, late April into May, but I'm going to check the stuff out way ahead of time to make sure everything's ready to go. I'm just not one of those. And there's a video coming up next weekend that'll show you what happens when I do something off the cuff because I forgot something. And thank God there was a backup system there, or I would have been just totally wouldn't have had anything. But yeah, I always plan things out. I always go over my stuff before I go. And there was one time I didn't, and it bit me. And matter of fact, I brought up another time we took off and went camping up to Reelfoot Lake. Me and Chase and Hannah had the camera, had extra batteries, everything ready to go. We get to leaving and everything. We're almost there. I pulled the camera out, was going to shoot some kind of intro or something for it. And I hit the button, turned on, hit the button to record, no SD card. I said, what? Pop it open, no SD card. I thought, okay, maybe it's in the bag with the batteries. Open the bag, batteries only. I forgot the SD cards altogether for the camera. So that one didn't get recorded at all. But thank God back then I still had a cell phone that took pictures and was able to take a few pictures then, and that was it. But yeah, I'm gonna start getting my tents out and going over them. Gonna work on my dining canopy a little bit too. Work on how I'm gonna set that up. Got a couple ideas how I'm gonna do that, but I'm gonna actually probably do a little tutorial on how I'm gonna set things up and show people how they can set things up. My buddy over at oh crap, I'm forgetting people today. It's been a long week. Anyway, one of my buddies has been going over that in his videos here lately, talking about different styles of dining canopies and everything for car camping. Now, I know a lot of people don't like to carry a whole ton of gear when they go out. And I understand that. When you're car camping, you can do that. When you're doing over just a single nighter, sometimes it's not worth carrying all that stuff. And I've done that too. I've gone light. I mean, I take a big tent, cot, and all that stuff because I've got to sleep on something comfortable or I'll regret it. I don't know that I probably could get off the ground now. I've been practicing getting up and down off the ground. It's quite the show. I may video that. That'd probably get millions of laughs. But you know, if you're a first time camper and there's going to be things you forget. There's going to be things you don't realize you need. And every time when you go camping, if you'll make a list on your phone or something and look at it before you go to do your next camp out and go, oh yeah, I forgot this and I forgot that. I need to grab that this time. It's funny because I've never done a physical list. My wife does a list for everything she does. Even when we go out of town, she's got a list for her and Chloe. And I mean, it's mile long of everything she's got to have. Mine's always up here. And I've been camping for so long that when it comes to the camping gear, I know grab this tote, grab this thing, and everything's usually in my totes and stuff. So I don't have to worry about what I've got, what I don't have, what I need. Growing up being in the Scouts, we always had the big Scout trailer and it always had everything in it. And, the only thing you would forget is personal gear back then. And so by this time, I've pretty well remember everything I need. But when I go camping now and I see somebody else that's got something, I look and I see how it's used and I go, that might be pretty neat in my system. So I'll may add it to my system, and I've changed some things up and tried different things and go back to the old thing because it worked better than the new one I tried. It's kind of funny. I was watching a video and somebody talking about the ovens that go on your Coleman stoves. I've had one of those for years and have only used it a couple of times and never thought I could get my biggest problem with Coleman stoves, you never can get the temperature right for them. And you end up burning everything. And one of the other things I always preach when you're cooking outdoors is low and slow. Because if you don't, you're going to burn everything you're cooking. If you try to cook it fast, you're going to burn it. Low and slow, patience wins the race. It's that holds true when you're cooking outdoors. One of the other things, like I said, I'll probably set all that up and show my setup for car camping, for multi-day car camp, where we're going to go to one location and set up. Now, if I do I'm wanting to shoot to try to do a 3 or 4 day on the road camp. And if I do that, I'm going to try to set something up where I'm not going to have a dying fly per se. I have seen something out there that I want to try. And it would be using, the truck bed. I'm not going to do one of the tents for the truck. That won't fly with what I'm thinking of doing. But I have seen something I want to try as far as a quick, easy dying fly to pop up for using the tailgate and everything as your cooking and prep area. Then you can put everything up, go to bed, get up next morning, do the same thing. Then you put everything down and you're ready to go. I would love to be able to have a teardrop trailer. But good Lord, those things are 12, 13 grand if you get a decent one. You can get them down cheaper, but then they basically don't have anything you need. If you're going to be on the road for several days, you want to be comfortable. That's the other thing is you want to be comfortable. That's why I've been looking at those teardrop trailers. I found one down in Fly, the Waffle House. Bill, you just sound like Heather. That's what Heather would say is Dying Fly is Waffle House or Cracker Barrel or something of that nature. She always says her tent is Holiday Inn, Quality Inn, motel room. But I think it'd be really cool to drive out several states, camp in each state each night, do that kind of thing. So that's something I'm looking at doing. Will it happen this year? I don't know. I've got tons of vacation, so I could make that happen. Do I want to do it solo? I don't know. And that's another thing. I don't think she would let me do it solo right now either. But that's some of the things I'm working on right now as far as the future and some of the stuff I want to do. I want to go out west. I want to go out west bad. We have talked about booking a trip either late this year or next year, where we fly out west, rent something there to drive, and then drive around to the different places we want to go, which could be a doable thing. It would get expensive because she's going to probably want to stay in motels and not a tent. So, and it's kind of hard to travel, take tents, airplanes or anything like that. So that would be kind of out of question too. She's not going to sleep in a tent. Let's be honest. It would probably be a lot of Waffle House and Denny's or whatever's out west. But anyway, so that's something I definitely want to try to do next year is do some travel out west. That's what I want to do before I can't. I want to do it while I still can, while I can still pretty mobile and want to hit the Grand Canyon. I want to hit, some of the big national parks that I've always wanted to see. Got to do that. I know Bill's always wanted to go to Moab. I think that'd be cool as hell too. I did run across a YouTube channel the other day, Bill, and I meant to send it to you. Guy running a new Bronco that he's done some outfitting with, put a little lift on it, did some other things, but he ran the new Bronco through Moab and was pretty successful with it. Never had any real issues. Did the big, what's that one spot at Moab where you can go down in that hole and come back out? He did it without any problem whatsoever with that new Bronco. I don't think he did anything engine wise. Everything he done was suspension wise. So that was pretty cool. But anyway, yeah, so that's something future I want to do is go out west and travel around a little bit. But I also want to do like a 3 or 4 day, maybe 5 day on the road camping trip covering several states to where I end up back in Tennessee, at some point. back home. I've kind of looked at whether I want to go up the East Coast and come back around, or if I want to go towards Arkansas, and which I think would be kind of cool because I've always wanted to go to the Ozarks and, up through maybe somewhere in Illinois and come back into Indiana and Kentucky and back home. That's something I've always wanted to do. So that's something I want to look at. Looking at the different apps, there was a new one I added, iOverlander. I added that app. I know what you're talking about. Maybe Mickey's. Yeah, that's it. Mickey's bathtub. That's it. Yeah, he took that new Bronco down, right back up. No problem. I was pretty impressed. If I can find it in my history, I'll send it to you, Bill. It's pretty cool. Because it was him, and there's 2 Jeeps. Seemed like there was something else that went with them. But it was pretty neat to see that. Yeah, he was hanging right there with the Jeeps. Yeah, that would be cool. That would be cool. I'll see if I can find it later tonight before I go to bed. Send it to you so you can watch it. What else was I going to talk about tonight? The camping trips we're going to definitely do before. I'm going to try to do all my camping before middle May. So that's, I don't know. Even in mid-May around here, sometimes you can get some pretty low temperatures where they're in the 60s and 40s, and it's not so darn hot and humid yet. I've seen some early June where it's not so bad around here. But then you get from mid-June into August, the humidity is at 90%. You can't cool off for nothing out in the tent. That was the one thing about summer camp always got me was the humidity and stuff. You go take a shower at 10 o'clock at night, come back, and the humidity is so stupid that you get in bed and you're still wet. And it's like, what was even worse, taking that shower outside of smelling better, but you were still wet. I mean, you're just sweating. And that was, I remember before we actually had the little portable fans that are battery operated, which I've got a couple fans I'm fixing to order that are USB that will run off of my wireless pack, my battery pack. You can run one fan off a battery pack for like 10 hours. I thought that was pretty cool that it would run that long on those little Anchor battery packs. But I got a couple of those I want to bring in and test out and take them with us. Or if I camp at the right place, I can always bring I can always bring electric and run it into the tent. I can do that. I've done it before. Matter of fact, I think I did last camping trip me and Chloe did when we did the Fall Creek Falls thing. I had electric run into the tent that weekend. Yeah, I've had it several times over the past few times we've been camping. When you go to Windrock, you don't have that opportunity because they don't have powered sites. So you're totally off grid at most of their camping sites. But I got some things I'm working on to cover those bases too. I had a power station that I've had for a long time. It finally died. Tore into it. It was going to replace the big battery that's in it. And well, they made it where you can't replace the battery right now. But I got a buddy of mine at work that I'm going to let him look at it and see what he thinks. So if he thinks he can rework it to where you can put a new battery in, we'll see if it's going to charge or not charge or what. It's not a big one. It doesn't, won't power a lot of things, but I mean, you could recharge phones, you can recharge the computer, you could at least recharge camera batteries, that kind of thing. And that's something I really would like to be able to do is, recharge the camera batteries too. And that's the other thing is, you know, on the road like that, I need to be able to charge stuff as I'm going down the road. I do have a thing that I probably can hook up in the truck. I do have a power inverter that I can hook up in the truck, and charging the batteries doesn't take as much as some of the other things like this laptop to charge. It takes quite a bit of power to charge that laptop, but we'll see. I've got a lot of things I'm going to play with here over the next few weeks. Probably bring y'all along, and those videos will be up at some point. Like I said, you're noticed I've started putting out a lot of videos here recent, and that's something I'm working on, is trying to build the algorithms. I said it. In my watch hours and all that stuff, trying to get the times up. I'm trying to get the times up so I can get monetized. Got some sponsorship stuff I'm working on. If I could get to where I could do this full time, I would do it in a heartbeat. I would love to be able to do this full time. But it's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot to do it full time. But it can happen. It could happen this year. It could happen next year. I mean, I really want to see it happen this year is what I really want to see. Well, we'll see. We will see. Everybody will see, won't they? Everybody will be here with me. Okay. That said, I've been doing a lot of indoor videos this winter, which a lot of us YouTubers will move into that because of weather being so unpredictable and that kind of thing. And I've got a couple of videos where we're going to we'll set some stuff up in the backyard, as far as for testing stuff out back. So that's real world testing. I always say, you know, before you take it out to use it in the field, test it before you use it. This is a prime example. I want to be able to use this thing out in the field, but I'm going to take it in the backyard first and beat on it there and see how it's going to do. I think it's going to do pretty good. I think it's pretty tough. It's thick. I mean, it's stupid thick steel. I have not read anywhere where anybody's had problems with them. That doesn't mean that they haven't. So I'm going to take it out and we're going to whack around with it, video it, see what she'll do. See if she'll split wood. See if it'll, you know, do what I need to do to start a fire or make a shelter or whatever. So it's going to be, if it goes with me all the time, I'll put it on the side of my pack and it'll stay with me. This pack I can pretty much take off, go in the woods for the day, and I've even got a little knife or sheath knife in it, so I don't have to have anything on my sides. It has everything. Even if I had to get water and purify it, I've got ways of doing that in there. Small and easy way to do that. So, you know, we're going to start doing some testing outside. We're going to start getting things going again outdoors, because that's what we are, is an outdoor channel. And I'm sick of being indoors. And you can see it in my face. I'm sick of being indoors. But anyway, I'm going to keep it kind of short tonight because I'm going to go to bed decent time tonight in case those storms that are supposed to roll in at 5 o'clock in the morning roll in. I can get up and drink a cup of coffee and watch the thunder and lightning. Might even video that because I'll video anything. Got some pretty epic drone footage the other day. I've been posting. Yeah, I did post a couple of the pictures on Instagram. Cool. But the video turned out really good, and I want to fly the Spark a lot more. I want to get it to where I can take it with us when we go off-roading, where it follows the Jeeps. I think it'd be it's kind of cool. So I want to get it learn some more with it. I bought it, played with it for a couple of weeks, realized I thought it was going to be harder to work than what it really is. Oh, see if I've still got this saved. One thing flying the drone at work I ran into. Let me pull this up real quick. I was kind of like, after I got back in and started reading this, one of the things when you're flying and you're using the phone, you've got things popping all the time on you, and you get warnings and stuff like that. And of course, I wasn't paying 100% attention to everything. Let's see if I can find it. Yep, right there. So what this says, I'll show it. It's popped up, goes away. But what that says is, your aircraft has entered a warning zone, airport close by. And I knew that where I was flying, that there's an airport. They usually are not flying a lot towards us. Every now and then we'll have one come near us, but most of the time we don't have, constant aircraft going over the office. So once I got back in and realized it popped up, I was like, oops, I was flying but I wasn't high enough to be in their vicinity, shall we say. If the airplane had been flying over, I was only 130 feet, I think. And I think where they're flying is around 300 to 400 feet. So I could have technically gotten that high, but I wasn't aiming to get that high to begin with. I was just trying to see over the trees behind work. It's some construction they're working on. You'll see that in the video coming out next Saturday. But anyway, yeah, it's the first time I've ever gotten that warning, or the first time I've ever noticed that warning. I never did get that here. The only other problem I was having, and where problem comes in with the phone, using the phone as your remote instead of a remote, is you can only go so high with the thing before it loses contact with the drone. And what can happen is you can lose contact and the drone goes, see ya, and it's gone. That thing will fly away from you and it's out of there. So I've got to get a remote for it someday, and I will, but not right now, because I'm just not flying that high. Now, I guess if I start getting really high where I'm flying it above all the Jeeps and all that stuff, I'll have to have a remote so it can communicate. But right now, it's no more what I'm going to do. I don't need it. I don't need it yet. But that's the first time I've gotten that warning. I was in aircraft space. Oops. Not like I'm going to be flying it professionally. So I can't see spending the money to get all the documentation for all that crap. So anyway, the only other thing I want to work on this year too is getting my ham license. I've got 2 or 3 ham radios. They're all portable ham radios. For the most part, I use them to listen to the other ham radios, especially yesterday. If anybody's aware of the weather net that they have in all the states, basically it's a bunch of ham radio operators, and they communicate to the main weather net person in that area. They also communicate to the National Weather Service, especially if they spot a tornado or they're getting hail, whatever is happening. So I want to get my ham radio operator's license, especially if I go out west and I can take a ham radio and have that for communications out there, because there's a lot of places out west there's no cell phone service whatsoever. But the ham radio stuff is pretty prevalent out there. Matter of fact, it's the way a lot of them communicate out there is by ham radio. So I want to get my ham radio license. I want to get GMRS license too. May do it first. GMRS, once you get it, everybody in the family is tied to it. So if I get it, anybody in the household can use the GMRS radio. And anybody with me, I think the way it reads, anybody with me can use the GMRS radio. I know a lot of your Jeep clubs are using the GMRS radios too, because they go further and you're not so much worried about line of sight with them as you are with regular walkie talkies. These things put out a little bit more. This one, I think this is only a 5 watt, but now I've also got a 9 watt. And with the right antenna, it'll reach out there. So we've played with some things on the GMRS years ago. And with the right antenna and everything, I could talk to people in Lebanon without any problem from my house. It's just a matter of getting that antenna in the right position, pointing the right way, and that kind of stuff. So I've got an antenna for my portables that I can put up and really reach out. So it would work good for the ham radio too. But at some point, we will do that this year. I've actually got the book on my phone to read it. I can actually read it on my computer too if I wanted to. So I'm going to get to reading that and hopefully understanding it all and get my ham radio license. But times like that, times like the weather, well, the bombing situation, cell towers were down. There were some people that did, if they had AT&T around here when the Christmas Day bombing happened, they didn't have cell service. But I was Verizon, so I still had cell service. But we didn't have, what did we not have here? We didn't have internet, I think, for a couple days. We didn't have phones at work for almost a week until they got things patched up there. I think we lost home phone, but we never use our home phone. The only people who call the home phone is our parents. Because, they always use their home phones. That's the way parents are. I'm sure they'll communicate something totally different when I get to my parents' age and they won't even use cell phones anymore. I said, well, I called you on your cell phone. I don't use that, Mom. I use my ear Dewey. I don't know. But just thinking about what may happen in the next 30 years. If I live that long. God, I'd be 81. Ugh. Anyways, I hope I live that long. I want to make my kids' life a living hell. But anyways, guys, I'm going to cut it at hour tonight. We will be back on, I looked at the calendar a minute ago. We will be back on the 16th is when I'm going to do the next one. Yeah, the 16th. Because the 17th, I got something going on, which is a Saturday. So 16th, which is Friday, makes sense, doesn't it? So we will be back on the 16th for another live here in the studio. Still thinking about what I want to do then. I don't know. May bring somebody on. I'm looking at going to StreamYard, and that way I can bring somebody in. I can bring multiple people in, and that's what I want to do is bring multiple people in at some point. Different guests. Be a lot easier than hearing just me talk the whole time, to get a couple different people in here. And I've got a couple people in mind, a couple of interesting people. There's a couple of people that if it hadn't been for them and bringing me on their live streams in the past, that, I wouldn't be where I am yet. So I definitely want to bring them in, talk about the outdoor stuff. So that's what we got looking at down the road coming in future. There will be a couple of camping trips happening between now and mid-May. I've got an idea of a couple of places I want to go. I think maybe hooking up with Bill again, and maybe going to a couple of places here pretty soon too. So that'd be some more Jeep content coming. Trying to think. There's a couple other things. There's some things I can't talk about yet because I'm waiting on emails and yes, we want to be aboard and that kind of stuff. So I got some things coming, guys. I got some things working. I've been really slamming it hard. Matter of fact, I got a few more things I got to do tonight, and hopefully get some more interest coming into the channel. Subscribers are up. I appreciate that. Up to 1380. I really would like to see 1500 by midsummer. That would be a nice goal. 1500 subscribers by midsummer. So with that all said, we've been on here an hour tonight. I'm tired. It's been a long week. Yeah, Daniel Boone, I want to do, Bill. I want to do Daniel Boone. I know that's probably going to be kind of an overnighter. Coppering Cove. Where is that at? Where's that Coppering Cove at? I know Daniel Boone's up in Kentucky. We've been talking about that. Daniel Boone, it's Daniel Boone National Highway or something like that. It's on-road, off-road type trip. I think it's 100 miles. There's a little bit of an overnight involved in it, which would be kind of cool too. We're probably looking at multiple Jeeps going on that one. Titan won't be going. But yeah, we're at 1380 in subscribers right now. Getting big time. Redneck growing. Where's that Coppering Cove, Bill? Daniel Boone Backcountry Byway. Okay. Yeah, that's one of the ones we're going to probably do. Oh, it kicked him off the chat. Huh, sorry. So he's texting me now. Let me ask him real quick. Where is CO? Oh, South Pittsburgh. Okay. Okay. So that's down around South Pittsburgh. That's going towards Chattanooga in case anybody wants a big city to apply that to. So that'd be going towards Chattanooga. Oh, another thing I was going to do. I thought about doing a Blade Show this year, but I'm going to hold off. Going to hold off for another year. Go back in 2022. I got some other things I want to do this year, and also Big Fork is right next door. Okay. Oh, forgot you're not on here. Oop. So anyway, guys, we got a lot going on. It just got to get it on film, and we got to get it edited. Got to get it up for you guys to watch. Right now, I've got 3 in the queue for the next 2-3 weeks. 4 in the queue, excuse me. And going to work on one Sunday. So anyways, guys, we got a lot coming. Got a lot we want to do. Still got a couple places I want to go camping in Kentucky, and that may happen this fall. I can see you. I just can't chat. Hey, this works too. But I'm fixing to get off here and get ready for bed. I am tired. Been a long week. Sounds like we're going to have an early morning with storms. Yay. All right, guys. I want to say, number one, I appreciate everybody watching. I appreciate everybody that comes back and watches afterwards. I appreciate everything everybody's done for the channel so far, and everything, all the support continues to happen. Without y'all, I'd just be a guy talking to a microphone and camera. But I appreciate everybody that watches, especially the diehards that watch every video, comment on every video, and thumbs up and like every video. Y'all are aces in my book. So, with that said, as I always say, be prepared.